What's up, Nerdyverse? I'm Daddy Louie, and in this video we're taking a look at a game called Potion Panic, so stick around. Before we get started, if you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you subscribe for more content and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any future videos. Potion Panic is an upcoming Kickstarter from Rocket House Games. It is for 2 to 4 players ages 14 and up and takes around 20 to 30 minutes to play. In this free-for-all, take-that recipe-building game, players are going to be brewing, smashing, collecting, all different kinds of things to potions in order to complete recipes. Creating recipes rewards you with crystals, and gathering enough crystals will give you the Philosopher's Stone, the powerful Philosopher's Stone. And you'll be able to use the powers of the Philosopher's Stone in the next game that you play. So there's a little bit of a carryover from game to game, which is really cool. But is it good? Well, if you join me on the table, let's check it out. All right, let's take a quick glance at the components that we have here. Of course, we have our rule book, which is really well put together. We have our player cards, and these also have the turn references on them as well, so they're kind of dual-hatted. It looks like a cool spell book, and then as you gain crystals, you're going to place the crystals on your crystal map here. And again, you're trying to create the Philosopher's Stone. So of course they've included for us a giant purple crystal, which will act as the Philosopher's Stone. And as I mentioned earlier, you'll be able to actually use that for a one-time ability the next time that you play, if you were the winner of this in the previous game. You also have a reference card for the Philosopher's Stone. I'll talk about that a little more in a minute. And then the main attraction here are the cards. So there's two larger stack of cards. The smaller of the two is the recipe pile. So there will be recipes both in your hand that are private to you, as well as public recipes that are out on the board for you to complete. And if you complete them, you will gain the reward. So the developers have done a great job here, and I'll show you more in a second when we look at the potions. But they've done a great job of not only color coordinating the potions that you're going to need for the recipes, but they've also made them all distinctively different shapes, as well as given them distinctively different names. This allows the game to be really accessible, so if you're colorblind, you can still play, etc. As long as you can either read or tell the difference between shapes or the difference between colors, you can play this game, which is really, really cool. And then the bigger of the two stacks are the potions, as I mentioned. They're all really colorful, but again, at the same time, each color, for example here, the green is this shape here, and then, the blue is this triangle shape here, the yellow is the star, etc. So as you are playing this game, you will notice that everything is really bright and colorful, but again, it's also accessible through the use of shapes and the text as well. The game is super simple to play. You can learn it in about 5 minutes, so why don't I set up for a 2-player game and let me show you how it plays. At the beginning of the game, during setup, each player is going to be given 3 random potion cards as well as 1 random recipe card. These cards are kept secret from your opponent, but I will show you since we are learning here. I've got 2 greens and a yellow, and I also have this recipe card for 3 blues, which would award me with 4 crystals. Then you're also going to turn up 3 random potions and 3 random recipes with shuffled decks off to the side, as well as the crystals. And that's the basic setup. Really, really simple for setting up. Each player is also going to get a reference card, and then the first player, determined randomly, will go first. On a player's turn, they must take 3 actions. They can take any combination of the actions, as long as they follow the rules for certain actions. And then play will continue clockwise. So there's 4 separate actions that you can take, and you must take 3 actions. You can take as many of one action as you want, but you have to take 3 actions. So let's talk really quickly about those 4 actions that are possible for you to take. The first is to prep. To prep, you're taking a card from your hand, and you are placing it face down on your workbench. This is, again, private to you. No one else at the table can see. You can only ever have 3 cards on your workbench at a time, so that limits the amount of times that you can prep a potion onto your workbench, because you can only ever have 3 potions on your workbench. The second action that you can take is to smash. Smashing a potion is to flip a face-down potion on your workbench, flip it face up, activate its effect, and then you're going to get rid of it. So, for example, let me show you that real quick. I may want to prep this yellow star here, and so I will spend one of my actions to prep it by playing it face down. Once it is on my workbench, I have to spend another action to smash it. I will do that by flipping it over and doing its effect. This effect says, take the top card from each potion stack. Remember, we have 3 cards laid out here, and so because I have smashed this, it's going to actually be placed on one of these stacks once I've completed the action. So this is take the top card from each potion stack. So I'm going to go ahead and take 3 cards, put them in my hand, and then this is going to go into one of the stacks. That's the way that smashing potions works. Let me go ahead and put those back just so that we can keep explaining. The third action that you can take is to brew. To brew an action, you must reveal the 3 face-down potion cards from your workbench in order to craft a recipe. You're either going to craft the recipes that are public here on the table, or one of the recipes that you have reserved in your hand. So in this case, let's say, for example, I had, a blue, which I don't, a yellow, and a purple face down on my workbench. I could brew this compound IDK in order to receive 3 blue crystals. And once that is spent, no one else is able to complete that recipe. And the last and final of the 4 actions that you can take is to reserve. Reserve is to take 1 public recipe and add it to your hand. Remember, I said that you can have recipes in your hand up to a maximum of 3. So in this case, if I think someone else is getting close to a recipe that I don't want them to have, or there's a really good recipe that I think I can get later, for example here, this Orange You Glad recipe, if I have 3 oranges, it awards me with 4 crystals. I don't want anybody else to get any of those crystals, so I may want to reserve this recipe into my hand. Of course, and then later on, we would refill back up the recipe row. That's really the game. You're going to take turns taking up to, sorry, I keep saying up to. You're going to take turns doing 3 actions of the available 4, and they're all listed really conveniently right here on your player card. And you're going to be trying to complete as many recipes as you can, while also smashing potions that you don't necessarily need that are on your workbench. And I'll give you a little spoiler. A lot of these potions are kind of take that things that are going to get back at your opponents. For example, here, this Black Death potion, if you smash it, you discard 1 card from the target's workbench, which could really screw over your opponent's plans for something that they're trying to do. You can also draw cards from the main deck. You can take cards off the top of the stacks. And when you smash cards, you're going to smash cards and discard cards by placing them onto the stacks. There isn't a general discard. So you don't necessarily want to give your opponents cards that they may need either by putting them in certain stacks. It works really, really well together, and it's a very simple and very easy game to explain and teach to people. Also, Remember, I said the overall purpose of the game, the overall win condition, was to be the first to complete the Philosopher's Stone. That's the first to fill up their card with 10 crystals. So once that happens and somebody is declared the winner, they get this awesome Philosopher's Stone, which they will keep for the next game. And then during their turn in a future game, they can actually discard the stone to perform a once per game really strong ability. If you want to go ahead, and I'm not going to read all of them to you. You can go ahead and pause that and take a look at them. But there's some really cool things that, again, gives you reason to keep coming back for more gameplays. Because, you got that gotcha element in the game. So it's going to make everybody at the table really want to bring the pain the next time you play. But you're going to have that ace in your pocket by having that Philosopher's Stone. And really, guys, that's everything that you need to know in order to play Potion Panic. Potion Panic does an excellent job blending a take that mechanic as well as a recipe crafting mechanic. It does a really good job blending the two of those things together. It has a small footprint. You don't need a lot of space to play. It has great art with the colors and shapes that really allow the game to be accessible. I'm going to talk about that again in a second. It's really easy to learn, and it's easy to play and enjoyable for both gamers and non-gamers. Again, going back to accessible. That's one of the most important things for me as a gamer, because I don't surround myself with a lot of gamers. So in my house, any game that brings everyone together is easy to play, easy to set up, and easy to teach. That's a win in my book. The artist, Jake Raymond, he did an excellent job bringing this game to life and allowing those colors and shapes to be kind of interchangeable, so that anybody who may be colorblind or whatever still has accessibility to this game. I'm going to keep saying it because, that's really what this game is all about. Accessibility, gamers, non-gamers, colorblind, not colorblind. Everyone is welcome to play and enjoy Potion Panic. I hope that you guys enjoy the game as much as I did. Please, I will leave links to everything in the description below. Please go and check it out. What do you guys think of Potion Panic? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you want to see more from the Circle of Nerds, you can find all of our content on social media. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff, all at Circle of Nerds. Also, for some exclusive content, some behind the scenes, as well as an exclusive podcast, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Circle of Nerds. Anyway, guys, that's all from me. I'll see you in the next video.